Hi there, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots. I'm going to give you a file to make all of this. So if you're using an X tool, I give you the XCS file. Everybody else just drag the SVG into your laser software. For XCS users, you are going to want to duplicate a canvas so you can have a working file. Once that's done, open up your layers panel. Everything you see here is all cut. Now we are going to cut the jewelry card out of something else, but you can indicate processing mode is cut. I'm going to drag that off to the side and turn off the output so it doesn't process. Now we're going to cut all four of these, 2 studs and 2 shaped earrings. So I'm going to go up here to mode and I'm going to choose the honeycomb panel for my X-Tool P2. Then you don't have to do this, but you can choose white acrylic because that's the base of my patterned acrylic here. Now I'm going to refresh the background so you'll be able to see it. Once you refresh it, you are going to measure. So write this section up here. Always measure before you position anything. So I'm using aimed measure and you'll see the screen sort of shift a little bit. There you go. Now we're accurate. Now I can put everything into place. So I'm just going to zoom in and just move this over this patterned acrylic. I love this shop. I will tell you or give the link to you below. I love her files. They're great. Or her patterns. They're great. So I'm going to just put this wherever. I'm trying to get the best little heart thing because this is a gift. So once I have everything here, yep, I'm good. I'm just going to make sure all of that is output on. And now we can set parameters. I'm going to use 75 and 13 because that's what my laser likes for this stuff. But you always create a test. Now, if you are new, you can always use this little fail-safe in the preview. It is in beta, so don't always trust it. But if it comes up with an error, you want to stop and review your settings before you hit process. You can see it's going to take 30 seconds, so I'm going to hit start in the software. That will send the file to the laser. And then when I press start on the machine, we have 30 seconds of bliss. So here you can see my settings are making a beautiful, clean cut, nice and smooth all the way around. But again, your settings are going to determine your laser is going to determine your settings. Okay. Next up, I'm going to go back into the software. I'm going to select the finished. And then at this point, you should probably save your file, but I'm instead going to delete the close view and hide this background so that I can just see everything a little bit better. I'm going to turn off all the pieces we just cut from acrylic. I'm going to choose craft paper, accidentally choose 250 the first time, and then I'll choose 300. So before I position this, I'm going to make sure I measure. So we're going to measure that distance and then use our close-up camera. Now, normally I'd be burning a whole bunch of these. One thing I will say is today I ran a little hot. I'm not real sure why, so I would actually, there you go, choose this one. I would actually recommend if you're using the original P2 where we can only bring the air down to 3, drop that power. I ended up running 2 passes at these, both engraving and engraving and cutting, because I'm going to engrave the sentiment. It's on your file as well. You can choose to include it or not. So I'm going to hit process and send that to the laser. And once it's cut, I'm just going to pop out those little holes. Now I'm going to sand my stud and the acrylic so that I can use E6000, let it sit overnight. And there you go. I added some hardware and that's it. I'm going to put this file out in my shop as well as on Atom. Any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for being here. Please like the video and subscribe.